What's going on today, guys? I promise this is the last video I'm going to do about show reviews. I'm your host, Massive Hater, and I'm sick of this too. Today I'm doing a deep dive further into the cesspit, so join me in getting on your hazmat gear. I don't have any hazmat gear, so I may periodically put on a pink wig. Make sure to check out my last two videos if you haven't. They are related to this topic. There might be some slight overlap, but I wanted to do a video fully illustrating my issue with this. My first video was a live reaction to Dom saying that he takes money for reviews. The second video was me clarifying my issues in that video, and this one is about the overall topic while diving even deeper into the ethics and laws. Okay, so this topic may sound obvious to half my audience, maybe a little more at this point after doing two videos, and the other half is probably like, why not? And then maybe 1% is confused and not sure what planet they're on or who they're watching right now. So people review plugins, food, cars, shoes, literally everything on the planet. The person doing these reviews should be impartial, meaning they treat everything and everyone equally. Reviewers need to be unbiased in order to give an objective review. What is a great way for people to lose their impartialness? Money. That's right, Mr. Krabs, money.
I don't care about the children. I just care about their parents' money.
Now, when I did these other videos, I was surprised by how many people thought that this was okay. I thought this would be something that would be generally frowned upon. I'm sure there are quite a few other YouTube producers and audio engineers that take money for reviews as well. Dom was the only one I've ever seen actually admit to it just outright like that. I'm sure it's becoming more and more common. Brands may offer reviewers money because the reviewer is popular or busy, and they want to make sure the product is reviewed in a timely manner. In this case, I'd say it's generally more common with less established brands, as well as larger review channels. They also may pay them in hopes of a more positive review. I don't 100% know what their mindset is with this, but I'm not a piece of who pays people to review my products, so I wouldn't really know. The FTC has a handy little 8-page brochure called Disclosures 101 for Social Media Influencers. I know, 8 pages is a bit much for a social media influencer. They may want to slim this down a bit further. Basically, it says if you work with brands to recommend or endorse products, you need to comply with the law while doing so. Yeah, we're going full police mode today. They want you to disclose your relationship with the company you are working with to help prevent deceptive ads. Disclose when you have any financial, employment, personal, or family relationship with a brand. So if you are Sep from Unison Audio's dad and you are reviewing their new plugin, Synth Dolphin, you have to tell the audience that financial relationships aren't limited to money. Disclose the relationship if you got anything of value to mention a product. If a brand gives you free or discounted products or other perks, and then you mention one of its products, make a disclosure even if you weren't asked to mention that product. Make disclosures even if you think your evaluations are unbiased. If you have no brand relationship and you're just telling people about a product you bought and happen to like, you don't need to declare that you don't have a brand relationship. You need to make sure that people understand your disclosure. If you're doing a video, you can't disclose it at the end, and doing it through a description is not enough. If other people's video retention are anything similar to mine, no one would see that. There's more information as well, but those are the key parts for this video in my opinion. If you guys want to read more of it, I'll link it in the description. Obviously, I think it's fine to take sponsorships for tutorials as well as random ad segments. One point I see getting brought up in these discussions is that this is splitting hairs. In my opinion, the difference is there's not a conflict of interest. An ad read is much easier to separate from a review, and the difference between a tutorial and a review is that you're showing how to do something with the product. While a tutorial with the product may convince some people to buy the product, there's a lot lower possibility of manipulation. Pay them? No, don't pay them. Pay them? No, don't pay them. Okay, so here are some of the arguments I see presented for why reviewers should get paid by companies. Whether it's a plugin reviewer, a game reviewer, phone reviewer, reviewer. I don't think anyone's paying for that. I think it all applies here. Now I'm speaking from the perspective of someone that reviews plugins because that's what I do in particular. I've heard some people say, hey, pay them for their time. They earned it. Okay, first off, that's not normal. And this sounds like the argument of a shill trying to defend themselves or their pile of money. So stop it. Reviewers already get paid ad money on YouTube if their videos are getting views. And if they're working for another company, then they probably have a salary or are paid on a per review basis. Now this could also apply to other mediums as well too, such as magazines. Dead. If there are interesting points and you're on top of the release date, you should be getting a good amount of ad revenue. This should go without saying, but reviewing things isn't for everyone. The next argument I hear is, this other guy gets paid for reviews, why shouldn't I? Now obviously it's a stupid argument because you're basically saying that all unethical things should be allowed since someone else does it. I'm sure you can imagine some other things where you're like, that's not okay. I shouldn't have to tell you this, but it's pretty unethical. I may have talked about this a little bit with conflict of interest, but let's dive in a little bit deeper there. This is where we're going to get really obvious, guys. Now, for reviewers getting paid to review a product, how do you know that opinion is unbiased at that point? You don't. And that is really the basis of the problem. There needs to be no incentive for them to give a positive review or a negative review. There should be no incentive either way, at least one that's not natural. I've heard people say that negative reviews get more views, and that can go either way. I've seen negative reviews and positive reviews both get a lot of views. Let's think about it in other industries. If you are looking to buy a new game and you read the reviews of the game, if you found out that the person was getting paid to review the game by the company, it may change your opinion about the review a little bit. Now, if it's by a reviewer that you have faith in, that may taint your perspective a little bit and sway you to thinking that he wouldn't mislead you. Is it possible that they may still mislead you? Right. Now, would you be pissed if you bought this game and you found out it was a piece of shit? Hopefully you would be. Or even worse, what if they told you the opposite of what you found in this game? Would you still be happy about paid reviews at that point? Now, obviously this could apply to other things as well too. I just thought games really illustrates the picture. Now, the reviewers, are they doing this intentionally? Some of them may be intentionally misleading their audience, some of them may not. That's the thing, you don't really know. As a reviewer, you could be leading these people down the potentially wrong path for just a little bit of extra money. You could be benefiting in some ways by not being a shill as well too. Okay, now this is where we're going to get a little bit more controversial here. Believe it or not, I have a problem with affiliate links and reviews for the product you're reviewing, okay? Not a problem with affiliate links, I need to make that clear. I have a problem with using an affiliate link for the thing you're reviewing in the review. Why? Well, in some ways it's not as bad, in other ways it's much, much worse. Now, it's not as bad because you're not being paid directly up front by the company, but it's much worse because you're even further incentivized to not say anything bad about the product. Saying less bad things about the product will get you more sales through the affiliate link, which generates you more money. And to make it worse, it'll incentivize you to not do negative reviews, which are very crucial. Negative reviews need to be done to let people know what's bad. You can't just review what's good. Let's break this down here. Let's get in the mind of a reviewer. So you're going to review a product, you're going to put the affiliate link in the description. Don't do this. Don't do this at home, kids. Don't do this at all, actually. So you're going to put the affiliate link in the description for the thing you're reviewing, and you may hold back on saying a few negative things that you would have said otherwise. Once you get a sweet taste of that affiliate review revenue, you may be less incentivized to review products negatively. You may notice a lot of the people that do negative reviews or use affiliate links in their reviews, they don't do negative reviews. Yeah, some Scrooge McDuck, Mr. Crab, exactly what I was thinking. So is it okay for a reviewer to get a free copy of the thing that they're reviewing? This whole thing is an opinion, but if we're giving my opinion here, I think that this is okay. It's actually common practice to get a free review copy of something even before YouTube was a thing. Now, I've heard people try to argue, I've heard people try to argue all kinds of crazy shit before. That doesn't mean it's a good argument. I've heard people try to argue before that reviewers should pay for the product every single time. Now, while I do see where they're coming from, I don't feel like that's very sustainable. I do see how you could think someone might have some bias with that, and I do think there are people that could fall into that bias, which I think is pathetic. A free product shouldn't numb your opinions. I've personally never struggled with being biased after getting something to review, but not everyone is that way. I mean, maybe the reason why I don't really care is because you can get a free trial for these plugins, or you can get a free trial, you know what I'm saying? Or you could just buy it. There are other ways to get it other than getting a free review copy. Anyways, I wish I had some nice way to wrap this video up. The world of reviews, and specifically YouTube music plugin reviews, is a disgusting and shady place. There's not enough money, too many reviewers, too many dirtbags, and not enough integrity. What are your guys' thoughts on what I've presented here today? Are we splitting the hairs way too far? Are we splitting the hairs into individual halves of hairs and splitting them into halves again until we just end up with atoms? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Maybe consider subscribing to my second channel. Follow my social medias. There's free candy there if you do. There's no free candy. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.
Bang Incorporated.